This is the Obelisk, a tall black tower that isn't supposed to be here. When I joined the server, I never thought that we could have attracted the eyes of the watchers. I kept asking myself, how did this all happen? To answer this question, we'll have to go back to the very beginning. The first sign of the watchers and the impending doom they brought was their symbol floating in the sky. I was making a rather good trade with Jackson, and also a somewhat terrible trade with Sweater Duck. When Jackson asked me to follow him, I did, and I saw this beautiful symbol slightly off and fangirled all over it. Secret Life SMP had just finished at this point, and I recognized it as soon as I saw it. I asked Jackson that a shrine would be nice and that this was awesome, because I thought he had built it. The next thing that happened was the appearance of Friendship Tower. I was told that Jackson and Not Using Hacks had made it. With this tower came two teams, the Obelisk and Team Friendship. There's been a number of griefs done around Spawn in the name of the Obelisk, always with signs. Signs were like their calling card, and they all seemed to revolve around this tower. I thought members didn't like this, so they made Team Friendship to combat and find out who the griefers were. The leader of this group was Jackson. Jackson was a nice guy, and I wanted to help find out who the griefer was as well. So I asked Jack if he had any leads. He mentioned he had built the tower, signs around it saying it was the Obelisk, and the griefing started. But he still had no idea who was behind all this. He also gave me a tour of the tower and got me a stack of feathers that I needed from his base. We have the grave split in here, so when somebody dies, they leave their grave, which they can teleport back to at any time. Nothing special, just nice to have. All of his stuff was in his grave, so I peeked at what he was holding. I took some screenshots just in case, and so that I could refer to his own gear while looking enchantments for my gear. I also peeked at a book and a lectern that was like total nonsense, mentioning members of Team Friendship and something special on the last page of the book, page 20. It was some weird text written in the enchantment table language. After meeting Jack, I went into replay mod and started setting up the shots that you just saw. While I was there, I noticed something odd around the signs. First off, there was this one. It felt kinda suspicious, but I didn't really think of anything of it until I saw something was on the back. This was a new change in the recent Minecraft updates. I didn't really know how to do it or anything about it, so I started checking the signs around Spawn. Most of them said Panda Tiger was here. And then I checked the signs in the tower, and what I saw shocked me. The first one I saw said, "For Aber." I immediately knew something was up. Aberdoki was the guy who was banned, but why would the tower be for a guy that's not even there? And why would it be on the backside? The next one read, "Join Long Dark, contact Jackson." While on the other side, it read, "Join Team Friendship, contact Jackson." I had tons of questions right here. What was going on? What's the Long Dark? Was Jackson the leader of Long Dark? Or was it a scam? What were they planning? Luckily, with all these questions, there came some answers. Team Friendship was a cover for the Long Dark. If Team Friendship's goal was to get rid of the Obelisk followers, then Team Long Dark would be the Obelisk followers. That meant Jackson was doing the griefing. Jackson was behind it all, and his plan to... Wait, what's his plan? I didn't know. But I did know whatever it was for Aver, and his plan so far was pretty good. He could keep an eye on Team Friendship by being their leader and watching their progress, maybe even leading them off the trail. This had taken some thought, and it was going to take more thought to figure this out. So I slept on it and had my answer in the morning. Jackson had something else brewing, and I just didn't know what. I did think of the when. The day Orangey announces his decision on Aber's unban request. I woke up and messaged Orangey not to announce it yet, even though I was literally pestering him every day before this. He asked why, and I told him my suspicions. He said he was suspicious too, which I was grateful that I wasn't just crazy. He told me Jack was doing weird things. He said that Fishy was also offered to join the Long Dark with an odd 20-page book. the same book that I had seen in the lectern. I asked Fishy about it, and he somehow had a transcript of the book. We still had no idea what page 20 said, but some things were revealed. We made a group chat with the three of us and started discussing the best way to move forward. We also made a record of the griefs. We soon decided that Fishy should join as a double agent and get some inside info. A couple of questions later, and Fishy was in. So now we had an inside man with Aberdoki disguised, Jack, and Fishy in the chat. But they still didn't say what their main plan was in the Discord, so we had no idea. Oh, okay then. Huh. So Disguise wanted to be a tyrant with Aberdoki? That didn't make sense, because Aberdoki didn't seem like a guy to do that. Me and him have been talking a lot recently, so I just asked him what was up. He didn't reveal too much, but he still said that he had influence on his teammates still. Right. He didn't seem too involved with the whole thing though. With more thinking, nothing seemed right. Jackson didn't seem like the type of guy to destroy Spawn, which he literally helped make. But he also didn't seem like the type of guy to make a secret group to cause chaos. I feel like I'm missing something. And even worse, Disguised and Jackson are saying they're going to be banned soon. Which means whatever is going to happen soon. We need to do something. They're planning something, and a good defense is a good offense. If we can strike first, we can make sure they don't have a chance to touch Spawn. But there's a couple of problems with this. We don't know where their base is. We don't know what their plan is. We have a time crunch. This attack has to work, or we're losing our only advantage in this war. But we do have some things going for us. They don't know that we know. Actually, they might, because I have a big mouth. They don't know where our base is. Take that back. Witherbeast slipped up to Jackson. We have this picture, which might lead to a base location, if we can figure math out. Ow? Well, Jackson sent this picture of a frog in the Discord, and if we zoom in, not only do we have his exact coordinates and knowledge that he carries 3 notch apples wherever he goes, and also he has a pretty nice choice in texture packs. We can also see that 12.7 km, or 12,700 blocks away in that direction, is a waypoint called House, along with some others. This could be some other person's base as well, but we've got nothing at the point. The smart thing to find his base would be go to the chords, look at where the waypoints would be, the angle of where you're going, location of the find out the approximate, fly to those new chords and look around for another portal. But I didn't think about it, so I guessed the angle and started flying. Then I realized I was done, so I relearned trigonometry, got some deja vu when I walked to school the next morning and saw what the last class was studying, made this graph thing. I know it doesn't look quite much, but it's gonna work, I hope. And it's also probably pointless even if we do this, because he can just travel to any place he's died at, which is kind of overpowered, but everyone's doing it. Did we find it? No. I hopped online while recording a blank screen and no audio for some strange reason. Jackson and Witherbeast were both online. I decided to head back to Spawn and ask Jackson if I gave him a set of coordinates, would they seem familiar to him? While I was doing this, I was pulling up the chart. He said he would, and I pulled up the graph and was about to give him my best guess when I got disconnected by my internet. The next morning, I was in a VC with some of the guys, and I was beating Fishy and Aberdoki at chess when Jackson hopped in, and I basically ended up telling him that everything I had done to try and find his base, and I was 4,000 blocks off. How do I know this? Because he told me out of pure pity for my work and effort. So now we have the base chords. He knows we have the base chords, but this meant all of my work was for nothing. I devoted way too much time into relearning trigonometry to figure this out. So I needed to look at the whole problem differently. Because at this point, I've got nothing but a guess. And the guess could be way off, like last time. No, we have to stop world domination first, remember? Gotta look at this differently. Wait. That actually might work. Wait, why is Fishy so smart? Here's the new plan. We make a trap for Disguised, who wants to become king of the server. We sue Orangey, except it's a fake sue to lure Disguised to the trap. We spring the trap by Pearl staying away, and then keep Disguised from getting his stuff. And if there's time, we unpossess Jackson and save the server. Wait, unpossessed Jackson? What do you mean by that? What's wrong with him? He's the literal enemy of the server. Why would you want to help him? Well, Jackson hasn't actually done anything yet. The only thing we actually know is that he might do something. And over the last while, his skin's gone through multiple changes, leading up to this one, which has a wing, an eye band, lots of purple and white, much contrary to the usual red and white Waldo shirt that he wears. I think he's been possessed by the Watchers. He's becoming more and more like one every week, and we don't want that. We'll have a better chance of stopping him and Disguised if we can do something to save them. There's gotta be some sort of ritual, or asking Drumbot, anything that we can do that could help. So that's the plan. And honestly, it seems pretty solid. I think it's gonna work. Everything that could have gone wrong did. What happened? Orangey unbanned Aberdoki. It was great seeing him, and we traded gifts, and we sued him, and then something got Aberdoki's friend, Panda Disguised, banned. I think he was swearing too much, and Catapple told Orangey about it, and Orangey just banned him, which there's no right solution here. But Aberdoki and Jackson started discussing that the right solution might be to take Cat's apple and spawn trap him or something, right? They were discussing it. Fishy told Orangey that they were talking about it, and Jackson and Aberdoki got banned. They didn't do anything, they were just discussing it. That's really frustrating to me, because my whole video was supposed to be about, Jack's lore, and the Watchers, and Aberdoki's finally unbanned, and stopping world domination, you know? And I didn't get to do much. But with these downsides came some pluses. I talked to Jackson, and the Long Dark, which is apparently the name of a video game that he really likes, Jackson had nothing to do with the Obelisk. The Obelisk was a guy on Discord. No one's sure who he is. Some people think he's Blanket, as he's tried to sell himself off as that, but I still had Blanket's real Discord, so I talked to him and he was like, nope, I've never been on it. So whether he's going super tricky or something, I'm not really sure. I don't think it's Blanket though. He says he isn't Jackson. Jackson says it's not him, and honestly at this point, I don't think the Long Dark was ever the Obelisk followers. I don't know what the Long Dark even was, to be honest, anymore. What matters now is, where do we go from here? These guys are banned, and now the server seems kinda empty without them. This whole video was supposed to be about discovering Jackson's lore, and now that he's gone for not even doing anything, none of us are ever going to know what the... Oh, yes, please.
My father died in what was called the Long Dark, a freak snowstorm which hit every part of Minecraft for about 4 months. Before he died, he gave me a hatchet. I still have this hatchet, now an axe, which have the words etched into it, the Long Dark's axe. A harbinger of doom that will kill people from the same thing my father died to, the Long Dark. The Long Dark, disguised as Team Friendship, now has 4, soon to be 5 members, which consist of me, not using hacks, Disguised, MIA, and Panda Aradaki, currently dead. Why have I become this? I've lost a lot of things in life. My loved ones, my home, and my friends. I am bitter for how I've been treated by the universe, and I want revenge. One of my things lost was my home in the sky. It was my happy place, safe from mobs, players, and nearly all danger. One day, after coming back from a long trip, my house was gone, blown to bits by some jerk. I don't know what happened to them, and I don't care. After that, I lived a nice life by the riverside, and it was very peaceful. I built Fort Sherry, and right next to it, Masquerade Castle. I swear I've heard that name before, though. I built my empire of dogs, but it never amounted to anything, as they were all killed in what was known as the Raid of Fort Sherry and Masquerade Castle. After some time, I had made a few enemies, Panda Aberdocky, who had killed me and took my armor and sword, but then lightning struck him and killed him permanently until someone revives him. I don't know why the Watchers decided this is how he was meant to go out, but it was in good intentions, and I thank them for it. Not too long after, I made my base on a mushroom island, creatively named Mu-Iskant, which did not turn out to be very secret, as someone leaked the coordinates and Salifin found and griefed it. I soon found where he was hiding out, as he could not go to his home, as me and my friend were constantly patrolling it. I found him and killed him about 9 times. He later became my teammate. Hax and I started a team named Team Friendship, aka The Long Dark. Then I became what I am now. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. Me and Hax built the Obelisk, disguised as Friendship Tower, a reviving device for Panda Aberdocky. Some people have been going around and stealing in the name of the Obelisk. I'm not sure who these people are, but they're scaring away future teammates, which is not good. I found a mask underneath some of my old floorboards at my house at Mu-Iskant, and it's a cool collectible. It's easy to break, as I've almost snapped it when not even trying, although it seems as the mask has an effect on my mood, almost as if it's corrupting me. Soon after, Hax left Team Friendship. I do not know why, but I respect his decision. The Obelisk is nearing to completion, but it could go either way. It revives Aber, bringing him back to life, or it could corrupt me even further. One day, I had an idea. A large trap laced with TNT to the teeth, disguised as a party of some sort. I've shared this plan with 3 other people, Fishy, Disguise, and Hax. Disguise has a plan if Aber gets revived. He'll build a casino and lace it with TNT as well. Me, Fishy, and Aber's ghosts are in on this. I'm slowly but surely becoming a bad person. Today, on January 20th, 2024, I nearly died for good. I accidentally shot a firework at Witherbeast, and Wolf came to his rescue. This accidental trigger pull angered the Watchers, and I was nearly struck by lightning. On one hand, I could be with Aber, but on the other, I can't pass my team to a new leader, and I won't be able to see my friend again. I need a backup plan. My backup plan is a new revival device, as Hax has taken custody after leaving my team for the Obelisk. The plan is to build a statue of the Watchers as a sort of flattery. Maybe that will entice them into reviving Aber. The reason Hax has not been corrupted is, when we were building the Obelisk, I cast a spell on him to protect him, as I don't need him getting hurt by his own actions, which aren't his fault. Aber's ghost has been speaking to me, making me do his dirty work like a pawn, saying, "You don't even know part of the plan if I get revived."
All of this leaves just one last question. Now what?